Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Hafro, and this is my channel. I uh, I bet you're probably wondering why this is titled a Mortal Kombat movie review instead of a reaction, and that is because I initially started recording the reaction, and then my computer crashed. Needless to say, the file obviously didn't really get completed, and so there's corruption, and I was already halfway through the film, so it kind of seemed pointless to kind of finish the reaction to it and kind of just sum up some stuff at the beginning. So I decided to just kind of finish watching the movie and then film my thoughts on it. So I apologize. I was really, really excited to have a reaction for everybody to see, but my computer decided to be a giant dick. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, which is all of you probably, this the original Mortal Kombat movie from '99 or from '95 is something I loved a lot when I was growing up. I was 10 years old when it came out. I was around that age when the first Mortal Kombat games were coming out, and back then we didn't have the ESRB, and Mortal Kombat is one of the reasons why the kind of rating system for video games was created because of all that blood and guts and I really enjoyed those games. I'm actually not much of a fighting game person per se. I kind of fell out of it down the line. I enjoyed like the story that they kind of kept up with, especially like the newest Mortal Kombat video games like 10 and 11. I really enjoyed looking at the story and kind of seeing what happened. But I'm not really good at fighting games except for Super Smash Brothers, so I didn't actually play them further down the line. Kind of like just like the first three were the ones that I watched. And of course, the original movie and then the kind of not so good Annihilation that came out after it. I watched that as well. But I was the biggest fan of the PG-13 Mortal Kombat from '95. And then now we have this one coming out. So I was kind of really, really psyched to see what was going on with it, see what the differences were. And so this is kind of my comparison and reaction and review of that movie and kind of leading towards possibly it looks like maybe a Mortal Kombat cinema verse that's happening. So I guess I'll start off with like the good, and then I'll kind of go into the bad, and then I'll kind of talk about the whole Mortal Kombatness of it. So the good, I mean I really enjoyed the action for the most part of the movie. I thought the fight scenes were really well done. Everything with Scorpion and Sub Zero I thought was really cool. I loved all of that beginning kind of story setup, and I loved seeing how they kind of brought the characters in. The whole kind of like symbol indicating that you were chosen to be a fighter. I thought it was kind of an interesting concept, and I enjoyed seeing the Sonya Blade Jax relationship kind of still being there, similar to like the first and second original movies, that and Annihilation. Of course, we got more of Jackson Annihilation than the original, and it was recast. But so I enjoyed that. I the character, the guy who played Liu Kang, I thought did a very wonderful job. He was freaking ripped too. Like as soon when he took his like shirt off for that like kind of fight scene, I was like, damn, you got some like Bruce Lee, tightness going on. Like, whew, yeah, I wish I was that that ripped. Uh, so really enjoyed his character. I feel like Kung Lao was also interesting. I mean, they had so many characters in here. It was really hard to kind of do a whole kind of backstory in this, and we kind of got some of that through dialogue and everything. But that's one of the reasons why I think actually Mortal Kombat would be really interesting as a TV show, because you can actually kind of develop those backstories and delve into all that stuff. Um, so yeah, the action was really great. I thought the set pieces, all the sets and everything were really, really, really interesting, and the acting overall, I thought was very good as well. So kind of going from that into what I thought was kind of not so good. The whole plot line, I don't know if I was really into it. Like, they added this character of Cole, who halfway through the show, at first I was kind of confused because when they showed his I guess it's his daughter. I thought it was just like his sister or like a like adoptive sister or something like that in the beginning of it, but it's his daughter. Um, when I saw her, I thought she was the descendant because in the beginning of the movie, it's a young girl that lives from Hanzo's daughter. But obviously that is super super in the past. and so generation after generation, and then so Cole is the descendant of Hanzo Hasashi, who is Scorpion, and I don't know. I feel like that. I I'm torn about that. I because it's a character created based off of a very loved and very a character that has a lot of backstory. Like if you look at all of the video games and stuff, there's all this history between the Shirai Ryu and the Lin Kuei clan and their like war. And I think there was like like a cartoon show or something that kind of really delved into that back in the day that I watched in the early late 90s maybe. But yeah, I really like. I feel like this almost wasn't really a Mortal Kombat movie. It was more of like a kind of like Scorpion versus Sub Zero prequel to Mortal Kombat movie, because I was expecting to go in there and be like, okay, we're gonna have some like fights before, and then there's gonna be like, here's the tournament. We're doing the tournament, and then it's the fight for Earth Realm and stuff, and we didn't really get that. We got Shang Tsung being his shady self and kind of like trying to bend the rules and do that stuff. But that's kind of what they did in Annihilation. Like in Annihilation, they won the 10th tournament, and so they couldn't invade. But then Shao Kahn just broke the rules and did it anyways using Sindel. And I don't know. I feel like they could have come up with a better story, personally. And I feel like most of the characters were great, but man, Shang Tsung, bro, was so wooden and so just boring. I I'm sorry. He holds nothing to the original Shang Tsung. And the creators loved that portrayal so much that they brought the actor back to play Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat 11, and I'm just like, just use him. Just use him. I mean, he's great. I love him as an actor and everything he does. Just bring him back. Who the frick cares about any? It's a reboot. Just bring him back. Yeah, Shang Tsung was probably the worst part of this movie in my opinion. And yeah, Kung Lao I enjoyed, but I feel like he didn't get a lot of story time, and then of course he dies, and I'm just like, okay, well there goes that. I enjoyed the Sonya Kano battle, and her getting the little symbol from killing him and stuff. I kind of saw that coming. A lot of the stuff in this movie I feel you could kind of tell was gonna happen, and man, they did my boy Goro so wrong. Like, he doesn't have any kind of dialogue whatsoever. He's just kind of this like monster of the week, go kill, the lead guy, and ends up just getting murdered. And I was just like, man, they could have used Goro so much better than they did. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I just a lot of this kind of story elements I felt I just yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, like, I actually, after watching this, I still think I prefer the original 95 version. I don't know. Even the funny thing is, like, this is rated R, but I feel like if you're gonna do a rated R version of a Mortal Kombat, then you need to just go balls to the wall. Like, yeah, there was some kind of very gory scenes, but a lot of it isn't as bad or anything than you would see in just like a normal like kind of horror movie. Like, I mean, the destruction, the worst things I think were the destruction of Jax's arms, and then you have the crushing of the skull that Jax does, which is kind of like a fatality, and then everything else was just kind of like, yeah, here's some blood here and there, and like Kano ripping the heart out of the lizard, sure, but a lot of that's CGI anyways, and I don't know, I felt like this. I mean, they could have. I don't know. They could have really brought it up and made it more like the Mortal Kombat games, in my opinion, for the amount of gore and all that stuff. I just feel like if they're gonna go out for a rated R rating, then just freaking do it like the games. Like, it just seems like it was kind of like a half middle way between them. But that's that's my opinion. So overall, I still really enjoyed it. I kind of hope that it does lead to more movies and they can kind of get maybe some more time to develop. And we did have that Johnny Cage teaser at the end, which I was kind of, I kind of felt that that was probably coming as well, but hopefully we can get more characters in there. I did enjoy some of the villain characters, like I saw the Cabal in there. I thought was a really cool addition. Um, Melina. It's kind of weird to have Melina in there and just not have any kind of mention of Katana, because in the video games, Melina is a clone of Katana mixed with that other race's like bloodline. So she's kind, because she's got the teeth face thing, and I just felt like having her in there was kind of weird for an entry. They could have chosen somebody else and then brought her later in the future movies with along with Katana, and it would have made more sense in my opinion. But you know, I'm sure that there's a lot of explanations that the filmmakers can make as to why they chose certain characters and why and what. But um, overall, I do hope that they at least try to do one other movie and maybe kind of go a little bit more balls to the wall with it. And hopefully we get to see kind of Sub-Zero becoming Noob Saibot, and then we get to see kind of what happens to Hanzo Scorpion's character, and kind of all that rivalry still kind of like building in there. And so yeah, I overall enjoyed it. Obviously, that's just my opinion. So I'm really interested to hear, what you guys thought of the movie. Let me know in the comments down below if you agreed with me, if you thought the movie was horrible, if you really, really liked it and you think that my opinion is bad. What about it? Did you enjoy? Do you agree with me on some of my points, or do you disagree? Just, please be respectful. And yeah, looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Sorry that this wasn't an actual reaction, but I will have some more out there, and I do plan to do some movies later down the line. I'm super busy right now in the process of like moving and stuff, so apologize for that. But yeah, thanks for if you watched this movie review, I really appreciate it. And yeah, make sure to hit the like and subscribe if you've stayed till the end of the video. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you with my next reaction video. Thanks so much for watching.